What up, good people, and welcome to another episode of Keep It Thorough, where we give you the real behind business, health, money, and self development, and introduce and engage in concepts to help you elevate your performance in all areas of life. I'm your host, Cedric Lavelle, joined by my counterpart, E Double.
Yes, sir. It's your boy E Double coming to y'all live and direct. Still season 3, and we are on episode 110.
110.
110, man. We're gonna
Let
go
me
clap
in with
that
the
up a little
110.
bit. 110.
You know what I'm saying?
And the title of this episode is Mind Games: Mental Strategies for Peak Performance.
Ooh.
So self-development episode, good episode on deck for y'all. And as always, be sure to check out the website, keepitthorough.com/kits, and check out the kit that corresponds to this episode. And I'm a little under the weather. Y'all probably hear it in my voice. But we don't never stop, man. We keep it going. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what's going on. And we got to get this information out to y'all. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and kick this thing off, Sid.
Let's get to it, man. So here's the key to unlocking our highest performance potential lies not merely in exceptional skills, but in our ability to harness mental strength. It is our mental fortitude that cultivates a competitive edge that really distinguishes the ordinary from the extraordinary, transforming failure into success and elevating good to great, and to overcome hurdles that can potentially prevent us from elevating our performance. Developing a mindset of resilient and determined beliefs is crucial. And just like with this episode being called Mind Games, you really have to go into your mind and really not necessarily trick yourself, but to a degree, trick yourself into believing things about what can be, what you can do, who you can become. And this particular type of mindset is what empowers us to push through the inevitable moments of challenge and discomfort that's associated with performance development. Because when we think about it, when we're on this journey towards improvement and performance mastery in any aspect of our life, whether it's personal, whether it's professional, whether it's physical, our limits are going to be tested. That's the inevitable. We know that there's no comfort in striving for something that you really desire. It's going to thrust us out of our comfort zones. But when facing these challenges, it's going to require a departure from habitual processes and thoughts that we used to, or that we usually succumb to. You know what I'm saying? And so what's going to have to happen is we're going to have to break through. We're going to have to break through these mental limitations that plague our minds and dismantle the barriers of our thoughts. And when we go through this transformative process, everything changes.
No, absolutely. I prefer train instead of trick, right?
Train. That's a great
train.
word. Train. I like that word.
We
too.
have to train our mind, right? Because we form habits, right? Or at least we want to form good habits. And initially, your mind may not want to do those things, and you may look at those things as like, negative, thoughts when it comes to doing those things. But we can train ourselves to actually enjoy those things and enjoy those processes, or at the very least enjoy the outcomes. So we realize why we have to go through the process.
Right.
But with all that being said, right, so what is the secret that differentiates the good from the great?
That
right?
that sauce in Space Jam that Michael Jordan had. Was that it?
What was it? It was some water with a label
sauce.
on it. Is that what it says?
Secret sauce? I don't know. I forgot what it was called.
Yeah, but seriously though, right? So like, what is the secret that differentiates the good from the great?
Yeah.
So, top performers in any field share one common trait, and that's mental toughness. This toughness is forged in the fire of determination, resilience, and unshakable self-belief. And for some people who don't have that same level of toughness, determination, resilience, and unshakable disbelief, it may come off as arrogance. But to another person who shares those same traits, they will respect them, right? They will respect those things and, almost or create like an allegiance to those type of people, right? And a partnership with those type of people because they can understand each other. So consider those traits, right? Like the armor that strengthens you to conquer adversities and come out unscathed on the other side. So, on your conquest or on your quest, rather, to peak performance, every roadblock, every high, every low, every success, and every failure presents a valuable lesson. Being mindful of these experiences anchors you in the present, offering a non-judgmental analysis of events, improving focus, and harnessing the energy to maintain perseverance. So this mindfulness plants the seed of sustainable success. So again, we talk about this all the time. Sorry about that. We talk about this all the time. We don't take losses over here. They're only lessons, right? And in every situation, right? I'll repeat it again. In every roadblock, every high, every low, every success, and every failure, there's a valuable lesson. There's something to be learned, something to take away. Whether you learn what not to do next time, or what worked and what you should do faster the next time, or whatever the case may be. All of those experiences anchors you in the present, right? And then they offer you an analysis on whatever, course of events you went through. So now when you come in contact, or when you deal with a similar situation, you can look back on those experiences and make better judgments and perform better the next time, by learning from those experiences. So again, that mindfulness, you should go into every experience with that mindfulness to an open mind to understand, okay, what can I take away from this? And then, that type of mindset and that type of proactive action, definitely leads to forming the habits of sustainable success.
That's good. And that's what definitely separates the good from the great, and the ordinary from the extraordinary. And you can tell, like I say, you can tell, but in many cases, the challenge is always the work. It's the process, what it feels like, what it looks like. It's too hard. It's too much of my time. I have to do this. I have to do that. And I believe this. It doesn't matter what field that you're in, whether you're climbing the corporate ladder, whether you're chasing athletic greatness, or if you're just simply striving for personal excellence. It's going to require work. It's going to require strategies. It's going to require you being able to, again, train your mind to a degree to where you believe that you're capable of pursuing and achieving whatever it is that you set your mind to. I mean, as the saying goes, if you can believe it, you can achieve it. And it sounds so cliche, but I believe that if you can believe it, you can achieve it. If you can fixate your mind on doing something and do the work that's necessary in order to do it, it can happen. And in order to make those things happen, you have to have a strategy. You have to have strategies that's going to allow you to perform in the capacity that you desire to. So 1, you want to have goal setting. 2, you want to do visualization. 3, you want to have mindfulness. Those are 3 key things that can get you to the place that you're wanting to go. So when you're setting up goals, just picturing yourself, your future self, and where you wanting to be. And we had an episode on your future self. I want to say it was about 2 or 3 weeks ago. pertaining to that, right? So with your goals, see yourself achieving those goals. Put yourself in that position and set these precise, ambitious goals and draw your map. Understand what it's going to take for you to get there. That way you can see what the process looks like, right? And it's not just about the end point, it's about marking the path and understanding the terrain and preparing for the journey, because there's a lot that goes into it. But if you're doing the work and if you're going through the process and you're embracing the process, good is the only thing that can come out of it, right? And as we always say with making your goals, you want to make certain that they're specific. You want to make certain that they're measurable. You want to make certain that they're achievable. You want to make certain that they're relevant. And you want to make certain that they're time bound. Make certain that they're smart, right? Make certain that you have these smart goals and that you're doing what's necessary in order to achieve the destiny that you want to fulfill. And then when we talk about visualization, again, close your eyes and see yourself achieving those goals. Feel the success, embrace the challenges. And one thing that I find that's very useful is if you put yourself in that position or in that moment that you're wanting to achieve and try to have those feelings, right? Like, how do you think you will feel if you achieve that goal? How do you think you would feel if you pass that test, or if you improve your health, or if you improve your 40 time, whatever the case may be, wherever you're trying to improve in your
You
performance.
see that 4-2-1 at the combine, boy?
Hey man, say dog. You know what I'm saying? You know, if we go back to my old tape, you know, back in my high school days, I would say I was, you know what I'm saying, about 4-2, you know, about 4-3. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Visualizing.
he's big capping. He's big capping, y'all.
I said visualizing. I visualize myself. I definitely running no 4-2, 4-3. Absolutely not. That's major cap. But you know,
Now your boy sub 4-4 for sure over here. Real
believe
talk.
it. I believe it. But yeah, I definitely wasn't moving that fast. I'd say my fastest 40 time was maybe like a high 4.6. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh,
Somewhere around there. Huh?
Damn.
I know, dog. I wasn't the fastest. I was quick though, and I was strong, and I was smart. I wasn't the fastest, but hey, you know what I'm saying? I got the job done. You know what I mean? But visualizing, I visualized myself running faster. You know what I'm saying? And I never got the opportunity to run as fast as I wanted to. Hey, but you know what I'm saying? I was effective in the other areas, right? You know what I'm saying? So we must have to remember, you know, visualize. And then the next thing is just be mindful. Have mindfulness. You know what I'm saying? In the noise of ambition, it's easy to lose ourselves. And mindfulness is what's going to bring us back and ground us in these present moments that we're having to endure. And it just teaches us to embrace the journey, learn from the setbacks, and stay focused on our actions. And through mindfulness, we learn the path to our goals isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. It's going to take time. But if you're willing to go through the process and embrace the process, one that requires patience, presence, and peace, then you'll be able to fulfill and achieve and move towards the place that you're desiring to go.
Definitely. So you know we always like to do or give tangible examples, right? So
Make it real.
The one that we got for y'all this week is about the GOAT. You know what I'm saying?
LeBron James.
No, not him. But so, you know, consider the inspiring journey of the GOAT, Michael Jordan. You know, his name is engraved in gold letters at the top of the Basketball Hall of Fame. His soaring achievements didn't come easy. And he was the first to do many things, right? And we can say the same, you know, some similar things about LeBron James or Kobe Bryant, but you know, it's only one MJ. You know,
only one MJ.
Only one person that you know, when they come in contact with him, other NBA players, they're, you know, all just kind of starstruck or just in awe.
Black
you know?
Jesus or something like that.
Yeah, right. That's what
nickname?
AI calls him Black Jesus, which you know, I think that's going a step too far. But hey, it is what it is. You know what I mean? But again, you know, inspiring the journey of the GOAT, Michael Jordan, right? Behind every basket wasn't only, you know, technical prowess, but Jordan embodied an indomitable will, relentless determination, a steely mental toughness. And if you read the book Relentless by forget his first name, I think his last name is Glover.
Tim Grover.
Or Grover. I was gonna say Glover.
Tim Grover.
He was one of Michael Jordan's trainers, and he talked about his relentless effort and how he just slept, dreamed, ate, just everything that he did was around basketball, and just how he was able to visualize the games, and what he needed to do and how he was going to react in certain situations. And that's very important and something that I think a lot of people don't or take for granted or don't realize. It's very, very important for you to visualize how you're going to accomplish whatever it is you're trying to accomplish, right? So
Absolutely.
From setting those audacious goals to visualizing victories, Jordan's journey epitomizes the power of leveraging mental strategies to deliver peak performance. And as we take a leaf out of his book, or we should, right, the high performer in all of us, take a leaf out of his book, it's evident that reaching our pinnacle isn't about sporadic prowess, right? It's about a continuous and relentless pursuit of excellence driven by unwavering mental resilience. And, this journey isn't for the faint-hearted, but for those with the courage to wield willpower as their weapon. And we talk about this all the time, man. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's going to be able to do something the same every single day. But it's not about what you do sometime, but about what you do most of the time, right? Yeah. So, what are you doing most of the time? And that's going to dictate your outcome. We all have bad days. We all need breaks, right? But if you taking breaks is your norm and your go hard is only sometimes, then you're going to see sometimes success.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're going to see a whole lot of waiting and a whole lot of delay in whatever it is you're trying to accomplish because you are delayed in taking action, right? But if your norm is working hard, maximizing your schedule, getting things done, setting new goals, then those things are going to come a lot faster. You're going to reap the benefits or the fruits of your labor a lot quicker and a lot more frequent.
Absolutely.
So, your actions will dictate your outcomes. So, it's up to you whether you want to, go for the pinnacle, whether you want to be in the vanguard, whether you want to, excel and separate yourself, whether you want to be exceptional or if you want to be average, that's completely up to you. And there's no knock to somebody who wants to be average. But, I don't think of myself as average. I know Sid doesn't think of himself as average. So, we strive to be the best versions of ourselves and to, reach our full potential. And I know that our full potential is great,
Yeah.
So you have to have that belief in yourself as well and, strive for those things.
That's big. And that's accurate, right? Your actions will determine your outcome, and the effort and the time, the energy that you spend in striving for performance excellence, it'll determine what's going to happen and what the result is going to look like. You can't put in 30% of the work and expect to get 100% of the results. It ain't gonna work like that, and it's going, as we were saying earlier, it's going to take a lot out of you. Challenges are going to come. That's inevitable. It's going to happen. You're going to have some moments of feeling defeated. It's going to happen, right? Your emotions are going to be everywhere. It's going to be times that you feel like giving up. It's all a part of the journey. But again, what separates the good from the great, what separates the ordinary from extraordinary, what separates failure from success, those individuals who embody all of the things and the qualities and characteristics of someone that's strong-willed and wanting to achieve high performance, They use those things as fuel. They use those things as tools to build up something that's unshakable, that's relentless, that's resilient, where they feel that no matter what obstacles come my way, I have everything that I need to continue down this journey and pursue the goals that I want. And so we have to really think about that, and we have to focus on what's going to get us there, really set the foundation and the blueprint for ourselves, and certain things that you would want to focus on. You want to focus on your physical wellness. You want to focus on cultivating resilience. You want to focus on optimizing your environment. You want to focus on deliberate practice. You want to focus on mastering your time management. Those 5 things specifically can get you to where you want to go, right? And so when you're working on enhancing your physical wellness, prioritize your physical wellness. Prioritize health through regular exercise, nutritious diet, and adequate rest, because a strong, healthy body supports a sharp, resilient mind, and it enables you to endure and thrive under the demands of peak performance. Again, like E was saying, like it's going to be some moments where you're pressed, but when you have that physical readiness to go through those moments, you can come out on the other side unscathed. Next thing, we're cultivating resilience. So develop a resilient mindset by embracing challenges as opportunities for growth. Learn to bounce back from setbacks with determination, viewing them as necessary steps in your journey towards excellence. If you think about an athletic team, right? A team who doesn't do so well during the season, or that loses in the Super Bowl, in most cases, the next season when they come back, they're more resilient. They're a more gritty team. They're a more determined team, because they almost reached the pinnacle of success, or they almost reached peak performance, but they didn't get to the place that they wanted to get to. And so what did they do? They came back the next year. They were more dominant. They were more focused. They were more skilled, right? And that's what resilience really looks like. And the next
Yeah,
thing
and
is
that, and
just
that, and that, and that, well, that speaks to that experience, and those
right.
experiences, that make you battle tested. And when
Oh
you
yeah,
didn't been through something before, it's not as hard, like you don't got the same amount of jitters. You're not as nervous. There's still going to be some nervousness, but you've been here before,
right.
so there's a certain level of confidence that comes with that you're able
Absolutely.
to go out there and perform at an even higher level. And then, everybody, competitors, high performers, sometimes we like to have that chip on our shoulder.
Oh
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
no doubt.
Like, oh, okay, you don't think I can do it, huh? Oh, we y'all got us out last time. All right, bet. Let's see what's gonna happen this time. You know what I'm saying? Like that little chip, that extra little bit of motivation, really, because we've talked about trying to find sources of motivation, and for a competitive, that's a source of motivation. Like, oh, you don't think I can do it, huh? Or y'all got
Yeah,
us out last time, right? Like, all right, bet. So
got to do that. You got to take that approach. That's what's going to separate you, right? You got to, what as they say, you got to have that dog in you. You know what I'm saying? And when you have that in you, you're about whatever comes along the journey, right? Because you're willing to go through it. You've experienced it before. You know what it feels like, and so you just take the approach of knowing I'm already accommodated. You know what I'm saying? I've already experienced this process before, and so it's nothing to me, right? And so the next thing, optimize your environment. I think this is a big thing as well too, as it relates to peak performance. Optimizing your environment. So create a supportive and stimulating environment that aligns with your goals, whether it's a calm, organized workspace for focus, or surrounding yourself with positive, encouraging people. Your environment can significantly influence your motivation and energy levels. It can be motivating or it can be demotivating, right? Like it's imperative to creating an environment that will allow you to thrive and be successful and be at your best. So you want to do that. You want to create your habits, but you want to create habits that's going to allow you to be clear of what's going on, and why you're doing the things that you're doing, and creating an environment and surroundings where it allows you to be efficient, it allows you to be effective, and you don't have too many distractions, right? So you definitely want to optimize your environment. And the next big thing is just practice deliberate practice. Let me say that again. Practice, deliberate practice. So when you're engaged in focus, and you're purposeful with your practice sessions, where you're not only just repeating tasks, but you're also actively seeking to improve with each iteration. Quality over quantity in practice hones your skills more effectively, and it accelerates your process towards mastery. When you're deliberate in what you're doing, when you're intentional with what you're doing, that's what sharpens your craft. That's what makes you better than the next. That's what separates you from being just an average player to an all-star player. You know what I'm saying? When you sharpen your skill set and when you focus on maximizing and optimizing your capabilities, that's a separator right there. You know what I'm saying? So you want to practice deliberate practice. And then the last thing is just master time management. So develop strong time management skills to ensure that you are dedicating adequate time to your priorities without neglecting rest and recovery. And then efficiently managing your time allows you for balanced progression in all aspects of your life, and they contribute to sustained peak performance. So those 5 things, man. So take those, write them down, put them in your notebook, put them in your journal, meditate on them, pray on them, dance, whatever it is that
That
gets
boy
you.
said dance.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, I don't know. Whatever your thing is. You know what I'm saying? You want to do those things to get yourself moving in the right direction so you can achieve that peak performance.
Absolutely, man. So, in summary here, right? So, en route to peak performance is a journey filled with determination and numerous mental strategies. Like, you're going to have to continuously come up with new ways to attack certain things, and sometimes new ways to attack old problems, because they may present themselves again and again in different ways.
That's big. Absolutely, dog. For sure.
But through mindful sprints and cognitive climbs, every inch forward solidifies personal growth and the pursuit of excellence. So, again, being mindful as you go through these experiences and journeys, and, going into it with the mindset of, what can I take out of this? What can I get out of this? Not just going through the motions of life, but actually, finding purpose in every moment and situation, and, finding a way to make it align to, your journey and what it is you're trying to accomplish. And then, as you do that, those cognitive climbs are just essentially, you getting smarter and you getting wiser, and getting more creative, and, being able to, become more resilient, and things of that nature, right? And then, smart, powerful goals, which we've talked about smart, a million times. Just mentioned it, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-based goals. But smart, powerful goals, right?
Yeah.
And we haven't put powerful in there, but smart, powerful goals, vivid visualizations and a steadfast focus serve as the compass guiding the convoluted path. And mindfulness is the soothing balm that reduces the sting of adversities. So, again, we're going to go through hard times. As you go through those hard times, that mindfulness is like your neosporin. You know what I'm saying? So when you get a scratch, you put that on there, like, okay, I just, got bruised up a little bit, but what I learned from this,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? What can I take away from this so it don't happen again?
That's a good analogy, bro.
No,
Put
for
that
sure.
Neosporin on.
Right, but instead of like, oh, I'm hurt now, what am I gonna do? Like, I don't
Right.
know. Like, oh my God, like, no, it already happened. It can't unhappen now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So throw that neosporin on there, and let's, you know what I mean? Let's focus on how not to do that next time.
And then it's almost like you've experienced it before because something told you that, hey, I need Neosporin to put on this. So that goes back to what you were saying. When you experience something, you get tools from that, your Neosporin, and then you know what to do to get past that situation. But man, that's good analogy, bro. I like that.
Exactly. And remember, the trail to peak performance is also your very own. So there's a saying that comparison is the thief of joy. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of our paths are our own paths. It's not anybody else's path. And
Yeah.
just because somebody does something before you, or you do something before someone else, or just because something looks a certain way, doesn't mean that it's really that way, So that's why you got to focus on you. Every day you wake up, it's you versus you.
Tunnel vision.
You got to be a better version of yourself, right? And they say you change the world by changing yourself. If everybody woke up with that attitude, that's how you change the world. Because I can't change said can't change me. You can't change people. It's up to them to change themselves. So, we got to remember that our trail to peak performance is ours. You're responsible. Your perspective, the way you choose to look at things, the way you choose to, dominate the day,
Yeah.
or be a victim of the day. You know what I mean? Like, it's up to you to make the right choices. And again, your actions will dictate your outcomes. You can't sit and complain and cry about the outcomes when you're not putting in the right actions.
Yeah.
And it's as simple as that. And I like what mentioned earlier, which was great, where you can't put in 60% of the work and expect 100% of the results. It doesn't work that way. And to be honest with you, you damn near got to put in 150% of the work to get 100% of the results. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you do.
That's really
Absolutely. Yeah. You got to
that's really the real way. You got to overdo it. You know what I mean? So yeah, and then with all that being said, man, own it, define it, conquer it. Whatever it is, whether it's the day, whether it's a goal, whether it's your job, whether it's taking care of them kids, whether it's being a husband, a wife, a brother, a sister, a father, or whatever. Own it, define it, conquer it. You know what I'm saying? And just wake up with that mindset every day. If you don't do daily affirmations, make those 3 things your daily affirmations. Wake up and say, today I'm going to own it, define it, and conquer it. And then that'll put you in a better mindset. And I'm going to end on this note. I posted something on my Instagram story. I can't remember dude's name. He's like a rapper.
I think his name D1.
Okay, yeah, maybe D1. I can't remember his name though, so don't quote me. Say it might be right. I don't know. But and I'm paraphrasing here. But he basically talked about how it's important not to wear your emotions essentially on your sleeve. Or not even just on your sleeve, just wear them on you. Don't, don't let what you've been through affect the way you are towards people. And he talked about how, he was doing an interview and he's like, y'all would never know that I didn't get to sleep until 5 a.m. last night. You know what I mean? Y'all would never know that X, Y, and Z happened to me. Because when I come in here, I'm going to give you, top level energy. I'm going to be involved, do everything that I can to better the situation and the conversation, to make it more enjoyable for everybody. And you'll never know, what I've been through, because I'm not what I've been through. You know what I mean? I'm much more than that. And to go back to, finding motivation, you don't got to be an athlete to find motivation. Your struggles in life that you've had to go through can be your source of motivation. The place you come from and your uncles or aunts or brothers or, dad or whatever, that you didn't, have much involvement with, or you've seen a lot of failure in them. And I hate to use that word, but they didn't become who they could have been. Maybe that's a better way to say it. You know what I mean? Those can be a source of motivation for you, to be better, to take things to the next level, to be a better version for your children, to be able to lead by example, and all of those sorts of things, right? But you can take motivations from those situations, but don't wear those situations. Don't let them affect you. Don't walk into every room with an unnecessary chip on your shoulder. You know what I mean? Trying to prove something to everybody. Like, no, it shouldn't be like that, right? And there's a time and a place for everything. And when we talk about, competitive nature, that chip on your shoulder is one thing, but, everybody's not your enemy, and you can miss out on a lot of opportunities and things like that by approaching everybody, in a negative, very forceful way. Sometimes you got to kind of calm down, relax and, be approachable, and be the type of person that somebody wants to lean into or know more about. you know. So yeah, with all that said, you got anything you want to add?
Nah, bro. I feel like you covered it all up in the end, man.
Hey,
Mind
well,
games.
as always, what you said? What you said?
Oh, I
Well, I
said
feel like
mind
you
games.
just.
Repeated
I thought you said
the
LeBron
episode title.
James, bro. I thought
No,
you
I didn't
said
say
LeBron
LeBron James. No,
James.
no, 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 no,
You
no,
said
no.
mind games.
I just said mind games, man. You know, episode 110. I didn't say
So hey,
LeBron James.
y'all, I struggled through this episode. I'm sure y'all can hear it in my voice. I'm like squeaking. I had to keep drinking some water. Had a little Pepsi here, hoping the little acid was gonna help me out. But we greatly appreciate y'all for tuning in. You know,
Man,
whether
absolutely.
you know, Spotify it, or most of our listeners actually be on Apple Podcasts, but you Apple Podcasting, you know, we're podcasting with us, wherever you podcast. We're about to start having videos on Spotify. So that's gonna be pretty dope. So be on the lookout for that. And then we got some stuff coming down the pipeline. It's been moving a little slower than we would anticipate, but
Life be lifing.
life be
Life
life.
be lifing. You know what I'm saying? But we resilient.
Hey, resilient. You know,
We figure it out, man.
I got some chinks in my armor, but you know what I mean. I'm still out here in the battlefield.
Absolutely,
So,
man.
with all that being said, man, y'all know how it go. If you don't do nothing else, keep it thorough.
Keep it
And
thorough.
we'll holler at y'all next time, man. Deuces.